Right, thanks everyone for giving up part of your evening and showing solidarity with staff at Chichester College Group. This is no ordinary dispute. This is more than the tragedy of at least 10 staff losing their jobs. It is more than learners losing a third of their classroom time. It is a kind of naked managerial dash to box tick so they can grow their empire by further mergers. Post-COVID and post-Brexit, FE, and particularly English and maths, will be needed more than ever to rebuild a broken economy when employment is rising and skills shortages are apparent. There is absolutely no reason for these cuts. The employer, Sean touched upon it, the employer has tried to justify the cuts pedagogically. It doesn't hold water. Blended learning has been the best option while in lockdown, but post-lockdown, we all want to see a return to face-to-face teaching. Ofsted has rightly said that remote learning most disadvantages the least affluent, many of them FE, maths and English students at Chichester College. The employer said that they are basing this move on a pilot project at the Crawley campus of Chichester College Group. But we understand this has been a failure. It was only after our members achieved an outstanding grade that the employer moved to put a third of teaching online at Crawley, which members there saw as a real slap in the face for all their efforts. There is no, and other pedagogical reasons that we've seen from Crawley members who tell us that it's not been a success is there is no consideration for the role played by classroom support for specific learners with definite needs. The lessons are generic because of the large groups. The learning is not contextualized because of different vocational groups in classes. There are limited ways of checking participation and engagement, and there are unmanageable workloads for those teachers left behind. So all in all, this is a failure for staff and students. Yet the current management have used the success of Crawley for a wider rollout, which we're seeing now. An attempt to cut 10 jobs. It's short-sighted and clearly money-driven, which, you know, we'd listen to those arguments, and we do listen to those arguments, if it was indeed money-driven, if indeed the college was in dire financial straits. But it's not. I've had a look at the accounts, and it's nowhere near in the situation that loads of FE colleges are in. The surplus for the year in the last published accounts was 5.8 million. The cash at bank in hand is in excess of 7.5 million, and the total reserves are 72 million. So, you know, it's not skint, this college. They could retain these jobs quite easily. So these proposed cuts are what you get when the college as a community resource is secondary, the staff are secondary, and the learners are secondary. An empire building, and the bottom line is the primary concern. Chichester College Group want to be the next Manchester College, the next Newcastle College Group. So if they can get away with putting a large chunk of English and maths permanently online, they will come for other subjects next. So if you believe that this is just about English and maths, it's not. They're going to try and move other classes online post-pandemic. And that'll be a threat to jobs and the education of learners. So we need the firm, as everybody has said so far, but it's worth repeating, we need a big turnout, and we need a big yes vote for strike action, and a big yes vote for action short of a strike. And we hope that'll be enough for them to listen to us and save these jobs and save this valuable community resource. I'll put my email in the chat as well. So if you want to ask me any questions about any of the figures, any of the business case, anything to do with this at all, or even becoming a rep or anything you fancy. Thanks for listening. That's me out. Cheers.